From the moment Zara Okafor was born, she had been different. No one said it outright, but she could see it in their eyes, the whispers, the unease, the way the pack avoided her as if she carried some unseen curse. She was supposed to be a wolf. She was supposed to shift like everyone else in the Shadowfang pack. But as the years passed and the moon rose night after night, nothing happened. She had no wolf. Her father, Beto Bina Okafor, carried his shame like a wound. Her mother, Amina, tried to shield her, but there was only so much she could do. The pack saw Zara as a disgrace, a weakling who had no place among them. Yet, she held on to one hope, Khalid Jabari, the powerful alpha of the Shadowfang pack, her mate. Even though the others mocked her, even though she was barely tolerated, she believed that once she turned 18, and Khalid claimed her, everything would change. She would have a place. She would be loved. She was wrong. The night of her 18th birthday, Zara stood before the entire pack, her heart pounding with anticipation. Tonight, the mate bond would reveal itself fully. Tonight, she would belong. But when Khalid's golden eyes met hers, they were filled with disgust, not love. "I, Alpha Khalid Jabari," he declared, his voice echoing in the silence, "reject you, Zara Okafor, as my mate and my Luna." Pain, unbearable, searing pain, shot through her, as if her very soul was being torn apart. Before she could even comprehend what was happening, Khalid reached for Adana Chabiz, her cruelest tormentor, and pulled her close. "She is my true Luna," he said, sealing the rejection with a kiss. She barely remembered running. The pain of rejection was too great, but worse than that was the humiliation, the cold realization that no one had ever wanted her here. So she disappeared. 6 months later, Zara built a life far away from the pack, living in the human world, hiding from her past. But just when she thought she was free, news of her mother's sudden death reached her. And then, an order. The new alpha of the Shadowfang pack, Jabari Maduka, demanded her return. Jabari. The one wolf she hated more than anyone. He had been Khalid's right-hand warrior, a ruthless enforcer, a man who took pleasure in making her life miserable. She never wanted to set foot in Shadowfang territory again. But something about her mother's death felt wrong. She had to go back. Returning home was like walking into a nightmare. The moment she stepped foot into the pack house, she expected cruelty, laughter at her expense, maybe even exile. Instead, Jabari froze when he saw her. His breathing grew ragged. And then, his voice, low, rough, possessive, spoke the word that shattered everything she thought she knew. "Mine." No. No. She had already been rejected by her mate, she couldn't have another. And certainly not Jabari Maduka, the man who had stood by and watched her suffer for years.
She tried to escape, but he was faster. He caught her wrist, his touch sending an electric pulse through her veins. "You're not leaving," he growled. "Not this time." The mate bond was real. But how? Why him? The shadows of the past. Zara tried to deny the pull between them, but as days passed, strange things started happening. Her senses sharpened. She could hear heartbeats, smell emotions. A power she had never felt before stirred inside her. And then came the whispers. Her mother's death was no accident. Someone had wanted her dead. And the truth about why Zara had never shifted was buried deep within the history of the Shadowfang pack. She wasn't wolfless. She was something else. Something powerful. And someone was willing to kill her before she figured it out. A fate she can't escape. Jabari refused to let her go. But he wasn't just trying to keep her as his mate, he was protecting her. Because he knew the truth. Zara had been lied to her entire life. She wasn't just different. She was a lost heir, a descendant of a bloodline that had been erased from history. Her wolf hadn't been missing. She had been hidden. And now, they knew she was alive. With danger closing in and a past full of dark secrets unraveling, Zara must make a choice. Trust the mate she once hated, or run before the truth gets her killed. Because the real enemy wasn't Jabari. It was the one person she least expected. And this time, rejection wouldn't be enough to save her.